Welcome back, everyone, to Austria Killing Simulator 9000. Today, he's fucking friendly with the German Empire? Okay. Guess I'm calling in the German Empire, then. So, see, initially I was thinking that this was going to be a kind of, like, nice little me versus... Austria and Russia. Turns out Austria is friendly, or the German Empire is friendly with Austria, so they would intervene to support the Austrians if I didn't call them in. Therefore, I must call in the German Empire and let them win the war for me and kill the Russians. Okay, all right. Then I guess we're going to have more time to talk about the Italian economy. All right. This will be terrible for the economy. Good. What in the flying fuck? Random Dalmatian ships. I also need to add my core on Dalmatia itself. What do you mean reparations? You're my fucking core. You're my bloody core. What? He's a substate of the Austrians, though, so it should still go to me. Let's go burn down Vienna for, like, the 7th time. Ah, this time it's the Germans that burn down Vienna. Who cares? Okay. I guess we talk about Dalmatia a little bit. Yeah, basically, as I mentioned very briefly, and then really abandoned the whole abandoned the whole thing to talk about it later. Basically, Italy, for a billion historical and not reasons, really felt it had a claim to well, a lot of territory in the Balkans, really, in the eastern shore of the Adriatic, which was considered a very much Italian sea. Oh, I forgot to put a general no-skill moment. Yo, you're also Dalmatia. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to have cores on you, too. Yes, I'm supposed to have cores on Cattaro. Acquire all... Is that a separate piece? No, that's... Yeah, I think that's really all I want from this. Yeah, no, I didn't get Dalmatia. This is super stupid. What the fuck? Okay, this Dalmatia bullshit is weird. But yeah, basically, speaking of Dalmatia, the Italians thought that Dalmatia was their shit. Now, there were effectively... a lot of Italians living here, but as the game sort of represents correctly, really the majority of the population in a lot of these Balkan, in a lot of these Eastern Adriatic Balkan regions was truly more, Italian states. Giletti. Was truly more Slavic than Italian, but, you know, the cities were pretty much Italian. Cities like Zara and, you know, Split, Dubrovnik, like... Well, not Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik was a weird thing. Yeah, basically, some of the cities were Italian, and a lot of, like, settlements and shit were Italian, so... There was a reason for this. Now, how the fuck can I get this core? Can someone explain this to me? Because it's a sub-state of the Austrians. So I guess I should have just asked to release Dalmatia or something. We are missing a valid justification for... So I need to make them release Dalmatia... and then declare war on Dalmatia for cores. Oh my god. Okay, I also need to have a truce with Greece since fucking when? Oh, because he was a fucking... He was in that war? I'm an idiot. I'm a complete idiot. I didn't look at that. I should have added my cores on Greece. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I'm so fucking stupid. Oh my god. Well, I guess we're waiting 4 years, I guess. I hope he's gonna stay allied to Austria so I can just declare war on Austria and then take his shit as well. Okay. Basically, yes. There were, like, real reasons for Italy to claim this stuff. Of course, as with all nationalist narratives and claims, it got blown out of proportion until, you know, eventually you get to the conclusion that Italian nationalists think that this region was, like, basically just Italy and shit. It wasn't. It really was not Italy. And, frankly, the border as is today makes a lot of sense. In case you don't know, the modern Italian border is at Udine and Gorizia. In fact, Gorizia itself is kind of divided in two between Italy and Slovenia. Now, these border regions, of course, as with all border regions, have a lot of influence from both sides, I guess, of the border. Like, both the, you know, former German, Austrian Empire, but really Slavic population, and the Italian part. Like, as far as I know, there's still quite a lot of people in Croatia and Slovenia that speak Italian and shit, even though they're not Italian. Blah, 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 blah. You know, the usual stuff with border regions. But there's really no reason for it to be considered, like, fully Italian territory. Again, there were more reasons for it back in the day, right? During the time period that Victoria takes place in... It does make quite a bit of sense. What the fuck are we having problems with? Still iron. This iron supply bullshit is killing me. Yeah, because France has got a lot. Britain has got a lot. Guess we just got to, like, man up and skill and research metallurgy and mining. I mean, to be fair, these mines aren't, like, good, ever. Like, ever. They're too small. They're just too small. My only good mine is down here. And I'm encouraging the mining. I'm hoping that it's gonna get... Actually, it must be, like, my most, like, valuable province, to be honest. In terms of RGO. Oh, no, it's actually Catania. Oh, sulfur. Right. How much sulfur are we producing? And how much are we using? We're using half of it. We really should be using more of it. Come on. How are we on explosives? We're using less. Okay. Yeah, come on. We need to ramp up artillery production and perhaps even ammunition. Yeah. Ammunition and artillery production to use all that sulfur. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. All right, fuck off with the luxury cloves. And build what? I guess I wait for later tech, because that seems like it's a great place for some, like, electric gear and shit. Increase my opinion with Serbia. Although, to be fair... Okay, no, I just... Luxury clothes in Brescia. Which has silk. Would be nice to produce that. These paper factories aren't making money because I'm not giving them the lumber. How are we doing in terms of the lumber? So we're using 600. Oh, baby, a triple. That's quite a bit of lumber. How the fuck are we gonna produce that much lumber? So is that mostly pops or factories? Holy shit, factories need... Which factories currently need that? Used by furniture Oh. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. It's time to fix my motherfucking economy, bro. Cause it's just such a fucking mess. Puglia. Where's Puglia? Dies ire. Dies ire. Biologism. My friends are stupid and they don't know English. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I'm having issues. Okay. Yeah, give me this. How long is that gonna take to research? 1875. I need fucking biologism and shit. And Darwinism. Give me the education efficiency. Okay, these fucking industry techs research really fast because of the military-industrial complex. Okay, how the fuck are we gonna get access to the lumber we need? Nope, not that. Right, build a factory for that in Albania. Yeah, this is a major fucking issue. There's a sawmill in Lombardia even. No, that doesn't make any sense, to be honest. You're never going to get the wood for that. Although you appear to be having iron issues there as well. Don't care. Naples, what can you be producing? Just food. Damn it. The usual Italian lack of industrial goods, to be honest. Deselect all. Show me where the sawmills are. They're not fucking building because we're not getting any fucking iron. We're not getting cement either, which is a first. How the fuck are we not getting any cement? Cement. Should be industrial goods. Fertilizer. There we go, cement. Demand is 3 times the supply for cement. Okay. We really don't have the coal, though, to produce cement. That's a bit of a problem. We really, don't have coal at all. This is a major fucking issue. Yeah. Yeah, you're the only factory in there, and you're not able to... You're not able to satisfy my needs at all. In no way. Absolutely none. We really need that Qajar Empire Sphereling. I'm gonna build you a fucking cement factory there, bro. Because... oh my god. Peru. Might need to sphere that at some point. Even though you don't really have a lot of coal. It's a 60k province. Better than nothing, to be honest. Yeah. This is kind of a shame in general. Oh boy. we're gonna have a lot of fucking economic issues to sort out. Basically, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Italian economy at the time, because it was suffering from some similar issues to this. Now, basically, going back in time all the way, to the 1830s, to the pre-industrial period, really, in Italy. Damn. Organic chemistry really do be pretty good in this mod. Should we get some commerce shit? Probably. Probably. Don't care about military all that much right now, because it's going to be for later. And don't care about Navy right now, but I will care about Navy in... Ah, shit, I need to... Hold on. When are these going to finish? 1877. Okay, in 1877, I start to research Navy again. Yeah, going back to sort of the pre-industrial period for Italy, and the beginning, really. Should I try to get some communism? Is my communist party good? That's a good 50 years too early. 45. That was born in 1921. Protectionism, planned economy, atheism, full citizenship, pro-military, paternalistic welfare. Somehow that's less than the... Okay. See, I think I just need to, like, stay reactionary as much as possible. I need to fucking stay reactionary as much as possible. Because... yeah, state capitalism. Like, going planned economy with my supply issues that I'm having is just probably a bit of a disaster. Would probably be a problem. I don't think I would enjoy the results of that. Oh no. Oh no, it's the conservatives and not the reactionaries. Shit. So currently my conservatives get 26.30%, while the reactionaries get 14%, and therefore they win. Can I even fix this at this point? With reactionary loyalty, I really don't... Oh, that's a lot of conservative electorate. What are the issues like? Yeah, jingoism, come on. You're not jingoist, are you? Yeah, you're pro-military. Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's try to get some reactionaries or whatever. I'd really love to have reactionaries so I can actually fucking build factories. Holy shit. This is a disaster. To say the least. Okay, at least I'm building some shit now. You know, frankly... Oh, coal mine. Frankly, it might even be worth to be laissez-faire considering... No, this would be a terrible... Oh, that's why I was... Gonna get a constitutional crisis, I don't care. Right, I'm still able to pick my fucking ruling party. Never mind. I completely forgotten about that, to be honest. So much shit has happened. I was really not paying attention to shit like that. No, that's not the button I wanted to click. Okay. That really is not the button I was after. Not the droid I was looking for. Okay. Basically, the Italian economy pre sort of unification. Now, basically, the issue here was that really both the material conditions and also the, I guess, societal, cultural conditions for like major industrialization kind of randomly came about way earlier in Italy than in most other countries. For the emergence of like a proto-capitalistic form of social organization. In here, I'm talking about basically the city-state era in the medieval, basically in the medieval ages. When we're talking about 11th century Italy, onwards and upwards of the 14th and 15th century, the level of urbanization and yes, I've completed the shipyards. Okay, upgrade all the factories, upgrade the cloves. You're not getting coal. Upgrade this even though you're not getting the dyes. Upgrade the steel mills. Ya Allah. I'm just getting such supply problems. I'm even lacking fertilizer? Oh my god. I usually despise fertilizer factories. Please? No. Where's Sicilia? Where the fuck is Sicilia? Italian Sicilia. Okay. Yeah, because I guess that does have the sulfurs. Or Sangali and Galetti. Okay, yeah, getting the spheres. Getting the spheres, that's good. Yeah, all these conditions kind of randomly came about, like, you know, a large level of urbanization, basically a wider monetization of the economy as a whole, basically higher levels of like property rights and, you know, basically ways of accumulating property. However, the sort of political conditions of a unified large-scale market was lacking. Not to like really rewrite history or anything, basically probably had someone for this is like a very like hypothetical scenario, but had someone united Italy in the 15th century politically. Oh, French patriots in Corsica? That doesn't seem very right, my friend. I need to build some clippers, to be honest. I really need to build some clippers. Okay, need to remove all my focuses, because I think having the reactionaries in charge through my monarchy is probably my best decision. Get me some more craftsmen instead. Especially in places where I'm actually making profits. Motherfucking Jacobin rebels. Understandable, to be honest, given what I'm fucking doing. Oh, even more random rebels. That's Albanians. Albanians. Albania. Greatest country on earth. Had someone, for whatever fucking reason, managed to actually unite Italy basically before the emergence of other unified, strong monarchies elsewhere in Europe, perhaps history would have been incredibly different in that maybe somehow industrial capitalism could have emerged like probably 100 years earlier in Italy. But probably not, because another major problem was sort of the lack of the proper resources, in a way, in Italy to properly conduct a mass industrialization. Obviously, in Italy, you've got in Britain, you've got tons of coal just kind of lying everywhere. That was used as like a shitty power source for a long time until they figured out, hey, we can like blow this through like this machine that creates steam, and the steam can be used to power up movement in places and shit, and then move around wheels, and the wheels grant a lot more power when they're moved by the steam that's caused by the burning coal than if we were like using the fucking river water as a paddle, you know, blah 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 blah, you know, power generation and shit. This is like more the technical side of industrialization, and really one that I'm not too well versed in because I'm not a fucking engineer. But in Italy, you don't really have that. Like, you had some of the social, you previously had some of the social conditions. Again, if you look very, very far back in history, you had some of the social conditions. You also had like some very like modern concepts, such as like the availability of credit. Like, banks were invented in Italy and shit. But this did not translate into a sort of wider economic and social revolution. And eventually a lot of the regimes that had sort of sprouted up, really with the very modern ideas of popular government, basically the protection of property, and like you know, the rights of the citizen as their main sort of I guess raison d'etre or whatever. These were the communal governments, you know, the republics, the merchant republics, the city administrations. These basically gradually stagnated. Some fell back into kinds of dictatorships and, you know, feudalism. Feudalism basically, in a way, reemerged thanks to the political and social stagnation of a few centuries of this. And kind of, this is the sort of unresolved question, the like lack of a political pole except the papacy. Oh, humiliate Casus Belli on France. A humiliate Casus Belli on France. I should not be pausing here, but nah, I'll get the correct Casus Bellis later. We're almost at a point. Oh, he's in the Russian sphere. That's pretty good. The lack of a political center that was not the papacy really also hurt the potentials for an early Italian unification. Now, all of this to say that basically the lack of industrialization of Italy in the 19th century really is not that surprising, but it could look kind of surprising if you take a 14th or 15th century man and you propel him 200 years in the future. He would be very, very surprised that Italy is not at the forefront of the world. This also combined, of course, with, you know, the, I guess, quote-unquote discovery, although this is going to get me canceled. I learned that it is the discovery, like I learned in school that it was the discovery of the Americas, of course. Today we know that it's kind of more complex than that. it wasn't Christopher Columbus, an Italian, who discovered the New World, because you can't really discover a place where other people are living / a place on the earth. But like, from a European standpoint, that was the discovery of the Americas, and also the circumnavigation of Africa, and the the birth of a way of trade that could bypass essentially Egypt and Turkey as a necessary intermediary between Europe and the not really the markets at this point. It was more like the productions of Asia. Basically, Europeans wanted Asian products. Italy became super rich and strong in large part through mercantile means, because basically it was the most well-connected country to the Mediterranean. And so these Mediterranean, this ancient Mediterranean positioning, which had allowed essentially the Roman Empire to rise up, also allowed a rise of Italy in the Middle Ages. This propelled a lot of economic trends that we'd consider today to be signs of basically the rise of something like a capitalistic, in some ways even proto-industrial structure of society, even though it was more mercantile capitalism than anything else. This also led to some political changes, like, again, the rise of basically city-states types of organization, republics, more quote-unquote popular government, which really meant the exclusion of basically the church and the sort of blood nobility from public office in these cities, and the basis of, public standing of the citizen being instead property and sort of civic duty or whatever the fuck. However, this then leads to stagnation because there's no political unification, there's none, blah, blah, blah. And then there's hundreds of years of wars fought over Italy between the stronger but more sort of backwards powers such as Spain, France, and Austria. These are monarchies that are basically going down another way to modernity, in a way. The Italian way to modernity at that point was more of a social modernity. This is going to sound very confusing, but basically the reason why Italy was strong and modern was because it had trading outposts all over the place, was because it had interests, commercial interests everywhere, was because its governments were basically based on, why are we paying 1,000 to our clipper shipyards? I don't think we need those clipper shipyards anymore. That was based on things that we'd find today to be pretty modern, right? Today we'd find those things to be extremely modern. But another thing that we'd find extremely modern, and that is the sort of power and authority of the centralized state, was lacking. And also the concept of basically unification of a coherent territory into a single nation state, or state, if we don't like the term nation state as a whole. This unification of a single territory into a coherent state was lacking. There were all sorts of weird boundaries, strange fucking borders everywhere. Nobody knew what the fuck was happening. Every single town and municipality kind of thought of itself as thought of itself as a single organism, single sovereign organism that could be standing on its own in the world, even though it was a city of not a lot of people. In the meantime, in the rest of Europe, you've got another path of modernity, which is I guess in a way it's less modern economically and socially because it was still feudalistic, but it was very, very much more modern when it came to the building of the state. Now, interestingly enough, the sort of rising social class, the bourgeoisie, was able to rise up in both of these circumstances, both in the Italian sense, or in the Italian environment, and in the non-Italian foreign environment, through two different, I guess, two different paths, just like, you know, the two different paths to modernity. In Italy, the bourgeoisie came about through, you know, sort of the rise of the merchant class. Everywhere else, of course, had, you know, the rise of merchant classes, but everywhere else also had sort of the, I guess, the legal professions, you know, which of course also exist in Italy, but, you know, it's a very, 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 very complex. It's a very, very complex rabbit hole to get down. You had the rise of sort of the legal professions, you know, and eventually banking. So basically, you have different paths to power. One that's more focused on the economical side, and one that's more focused on, I guess, the management of the state, the bureaucracy, the legal practices, and of course, in a centralized state that needs a lot of bureaucrats, a lot of, like, you know, a lot of employees that run around everywhere. That's more demanding, and also more demanding in real terms, because these types of employments and you know, social strata also existed in Italy, but had a much more sort of parasitic function, because as I said, these states were all stagnating. None of them were like, except Venice in one way or another. Like, Venice was kind of an exception. Oh no, I don't want to look at that. That's going to bug the game. Everywhere else was stagnating, and so no really efficient bureaucracies emerged. Basically, the soft power of Italy was stronger, but eventually, since it lacked the hard power, it stagnated and fell back. And this eventually led to basically France and the Netherlands, or northern France and the Netherlands, having their own rise of urbanization and global trade, you know, which eventually surpassed that of Italy. And so also the sort of social customs of these regions evolved and became more and more what we'd call modern than Italy. And then you had the explosion of England, which had its own revolution, you know, the first and second revolutions and shit in the 17th centuries. In the 17th century, sorry, there were not two 17th centuries. And then eventually sort of the rise of industrialization and then Britain as a global power. And by this point, Italy is has sort of regressed backwards into a country of stagnated, depopulated cities with basically a country, ironclads, but actually I'm going to have steel steamers soon, so protected cruisers, into a country with basically an entirely agrarian and sort of, I guess, entirely agrarian, sort of localistic mindset on the world that we're going to talk about next time, because we've got no fucking time today. So I wanted to talk about the Italian economy leading up to national unification, but I got sidetracked to talk about the Italian economy from the year 1000 all the way to the 19th century. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Anyway, if you learned anything from this, give a like. I never do this shit. Anyway, and episode's over. Next time we kill the Austrians to go to war with Greece to get our Greece course. We build cruisers. We prepare to take Malta and Egypt from the British. maybe we prepare to beat up the Ottomans again to LARP. Cut down to size on the That's a fucking gross germaniums in single player. Guess we did beat the Austrians down a lot. That's a motherfucking gross germaniums in single player. That's not... How the fuck did we lose that core? Well, guess we claimed that shit anyway. You're friendly with the fucking British. This is despicable. The fact that you're friendly with the British is disgusting. Wait, the Germans... What? That's a problem. See you next time.